Hello and welcome to Excel Tips and Tricks. In this Tips and Tricks module, we are going to look at the auto outline and the manual outline feature in Excel. Here on screen, I have a sample report of the kind of report you might expect to see in an organization. Down the first left-hand column of this report are arrayed category items of inflows and expenses. Across the top row are the months to which these expenses or income pertain. In column F, you will see a summary column, which is a summary of the first 3 months. And in column J, you will see another summary column, which is a summary of the second quarter. Similarly, in row 15, you will notice it's a summary of the cells above it, and also row 21. Further down the table, you will find other formulas that calculate various results for this table. Now, this is the kind of table you might find in any typical management information report in an organization. Sometimes, however, the level of detail contained in a report like this might be too much if you were to include it to, say, top management. When you're sending a report to top management, you might just want to include only the summary details and not every single level of detail that is contained in this data. If this level of detail is too much for you, then Excel's auto outline feature can help you to reduce the level of detail that you report. To use the auto outline feature, first select the entire data set. Selecting the entire data set as a first step is not absolutely necessary, but it's a good discipline to follow because it prevents mistakes from misselection. After having selected the data set, we go to the Data tab of the ribbon menu. And on the Data tab of the ribbon menu, we will find the outline group of commands. On the outline group of commands is the group button. And next to the group button is a drop down within which we will find the auto outline command. Clicking the auto outline will instantly create an outline for us based on the formulas in our table. Excel will use the formulas in our data set to determine the hierarchy of the data in this data set. So here we go. I'll click the auto outline button, and you will see that Excel has created two outline trees for us in the left hand side of the spreadsheet and right across the top column area of the spreadsheet. You'll also notice that Excel has created buttons which refer to the level of data in this outline. Clicking on any of these buttons will display that level of data within this outline. So for example, if I click on button 3 of the row outlines, you'll see that the table collapses to show a certain level of detail only. That is, in this case, just the summary details. Similarly, if I click on column 1 of the column outlines, you'll see that it collapses to show only the summary of the columns, that is the quarter 1 and quarter 2 totals. Now I can print out the spreadsheet in any of these configurations or use the expand and collapse buttons to selectively expand or collapse various groups within this outline and print out the table in the configuration that I want. Or you could send this table, this spreadsheet, just as it is to your readers, and they can use the expand or collapse buttons to view the level of detail that they like. However, if you would like to hide the outline tree and the outline buttons, you can use the key combination Control 8. Control 8 will hide the outline, expand or collapse buttons. It's a toggle button, so Control 8 will bring it back again. That's Control 8 to hide it and Control 8 to display it. Once you're done, or if you'd like to remove the outline, on the Data tab within the Outline panel is also the Ungroup button, and the drop down near the Ungroup includes the Clear Outline button, which you can click and it'll clear this outline. Sometimes the auto outline feature might not work for you. The auto outline feature works if the summary rows and summary columns are immediately adjacent to the details in the detail rows and detail column. So that means in this case, my summary column was immediately to the right of the detail, and my summary row was immediately below the detail above it. Let's take an example of a case where this might not be the case. So I'm scrolling down this spreadsheet to another data set which is on cell A43. Here I have sales of 3 months of various salespeople, and I have two summary columns just adjacent to them. I have a quarter average and I have a total. Now the total is not immediately adjacent to the detail. When I have two summary columns like this, Excel might not be able to determine the outline by itself. So an auto outline is not possible on this table. Let's try it and see what happens. If I select this data set like this and I go to group and I choose auto outline, you'll see that Excel has created an outline right across the top, but it might not be exactly what I want. In this outline, January has been left out of the outline. Collapsing this outline will show me the month of January and the total, which is not what I might want. So in this case, I have to use a manual outline. First, I will clear this outline by going to Ungroup and choosing Clear Outline. To create a manual outline now, I select the 3 months that I want to include in the outline. So I'm going to select January, February, and March. And instead of clicking the drop down near the group button, I click the group button itself. When I do that, as soon as I click the group button, the group dialog box pops up and it asks me whether I want to group rows or columns. In this case, I want to group the 3 columns together, so I need to select columns. As soon as I select columns and click OK, it now creates an outline across the top which includes the 3 columns that I wanted. And collapsing this group will now display the average column and the total column just as I wanted. So sometimes when the auto outline does not work for you, you can also use the manual group or the manual outline feature. Once you're done with this grouped table and you'd like to revert to an ungrouped table, you can follow the same process for clearing the outline. Simply keep your cursor inside the table, go to the drop down near the Ungroup button and click Clear Outline. And the table will once more be displayed with all its detail. So the auto outline and the manual outline are two very handy tools when you have to distribute data to differing levels in an organization. I hope you enjoyed watching this tips and tricks video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.